Hey everybody, it's Dave from NLP Secrets once again. I'm going to be teaching you about anchoring skills today and how that could make a huge difference to you. Hang out till the end of the video because I want you to get the full impact of this technique. Before we go on, I'd appreciate a like and a subscribe, and for you to hit the bell icon. I absolutely love my subscribers, and I want to be able to give you guys the best videos possible. Okay, next slide. What is anchoring and how does it work? Let me give you an example of what anchoring is. Let me give you an example. Say you're 5 years old and you get frightened by a dog. It creates a negative anchor in your subconscious mind. As the person grows up, they could all of a sudden be frightened by a dog and not even realize why. You understand what I'm saying? That is the example of an anchor. Next slide, Mr. Bob. There are two kinds of anchors. There's positive anchoring and there's negative anchoring. I'm going to give you an example of both. Okay, positive anchoring. It's the same type of thing. You're remembering something that happened to you when you were a child. That's a positive anchor. Something that made you happy. It's an anchor. These are examples of positive anchoring. Now, there's also negative anchors, like I told you before. Being frightened by the dog, being afraid of an insect, etc. People are frightened by things generally because they have these anchors in their minds. And when they are triggered, you will elicit these emotions over again. Let me ask you a question. Did you ever meet somebody out there that you just met and hated them for no reason? And you have no idea why? Think about that. That's because that person will remind you of something that's negative. Therefore, not even realizing it, you're going to automatically dislike them. It's very interesting the way it works. It also works the reverse. You could meet a person and love them instantly and have no clue even why. Okay. Okay, next slide, Mr. Bob. What is a trigger? Or should I say, in this case, an emotional trigger? Everybody's got triggers. Okay? Anchoring is an example of a trigger. Something happens like you hear a song on the radio. Somebody makes a certain gesture or does a certain thing. And all of a sudden, you find yourself feeling a certain way. You're feeling this way because whether it's the song or the gesture or the person or whatever, they are firing off an anchor. It elicits certain feelings within the subconscious mind. And the funny thing is, is, I would say about 90% of the time, your normal average day person won't even realize why they feel that way. You know, and then they'll sit there and wonder why I feel this way. I can't understand. Well, that's the reason why. Next slide, Mr. Bob. If you can control somebody's emotion, basically you control them. People are emotional beings. Every single person on this planet has emotion. There are many different ways to control, you know, a person's feelings and how they feel. Anchoring is one of those things. Next slide, Mr. Lowe. Okay, basically, what you're doing is you learn how to control not even your own emotions, but the emotions of other people as well. This is a hugely powerful skill. Now let's go back to exploding anchors. Okay? How can you get an anchor to not bother you emotionally anymore? Let's examine this. I would ask you guys to close your eyes and imagine a very unhappy experience that happened sometime in your life. Sit there, bring the picture into your mind. Now note how this visual in your mind is making you feel. You might feel angry, you might feel upset, you can feel a plethora of different emotions. Now let's try something. When you're watching this video in your mind, put funny music to it. I'll give you a second, put funny music to it. And see how this image makes you feel now. It's different, isn't it? It's more, even though it's something bad that might have happened, it turns into an upbeat thing. Close your eyes again. Bring that picture really close to you. Make it vibrant and colorful. It tends to have more of a positive effect, does it not? When you move it away from you, far away from you, it tends to lose its effect on you. Believe it or not, by doing this time and time again, you're actually exploding that anchor so it no longer has the emotions that are to it, the negative emotions. Now also, you can do this with positive emotions. You want to reinforce these emotions. You do the same thing. You bring the picture closer to you. The colors are vibrant and beautiful. And the closer you bring it to yourself, the more of a positive effect on you. You can experiment with different things within your mind. But let me explain something to you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, it works. It works. Let me tell you, I have had a lot of really negative experiences as a child. And when I learned NLP and this anchoring technique, it helped me so much you have absolutely no clue. It helped me big time. And honestly, I want to explain how this is done so it could help you at all. That's my goal. I'm not here for money or fame or anything like that. I honestly have a genuine love for other people because you know what? That's all we have, ladies and gentlemen, is each other. And how important that is. It is so important. You know, especially seeing what's happening in the streets, what's happening in this world, presidential elections. I mean, there's all kinds of upheaval. The coronavirus. We all have to stick together. Okay, there's something else I want to explain to you. There is things called submodalities. There's visual, there's auditory, and there's something called kinesthetic. There's visual cues, things that could make you feel a certain way. Auditory, same thing, and then there's kinesthetic. Now, most people don't understand what kinesthetic is. Let me explain to you what kinesthetics is. It's physical. It's a touch, or something along those lines. Now, you can create anchors of your own. Say you want to create a positive anchor, for the sake of argument. Let's say, for the sake of argument, going to the gym, and you wanna feel good about doing it. Okay, you play that film over and over in your head, over and over and over again, and you associate that with a movement, with a touch, with a sound. You can associate it with anything. After a certain amount of time, this becomes embedded in your unconscious mind. After a while, it becomes autonomic. Okay, the more you do a task or do something, the faster it becomes wired into your brain. Your brain, that's how your brain learns new habits, etc. It's actually a very, very powerful tool. Like anything, ladies and gentlemen, it takes a ton of practice. But once you learn how to do it, oofa, you'll be amazed by what it can do for you. Next slide. I have a friend. His name is Bob. One of my best friends. This man is a superman and an excellent, excellent teacher. He teaches ESL. What he basically does is he teaches English to foreign people. He's a class act. Love him to death. Nothing I wouldn't do for him. The name of his channel is Best ESL Tips. I would check him out. He's phenomenal. If you email him with any question or anything else, he's the kind of person that will go out of his way to help you. Now, Bob, also, he's free for on-the-side lessons. He's more than happy, to do tutoring and stuff like that. Feel free, contact him, and I'm sure he'll make some kind of arrangement for you. He lives on Long Island. You know, but I would think, you know, you wouldn't be sorry with his services. I love you guys. Please, for the love of Christ, be safe and take care of yourselves and love one another. Till next time, this is Dave.